Oh, hello. I didn't see you there, Internet. Welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotsuben and Friends where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two good friends of ours, Tiago.
Yeah.
And Rose.
Hi.
Dessy and I are the longtime fans, and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers. We hope that through both of our perspectives as we play through the series, it will reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series that is near and dear to us. Today, we have all played the first half of the third case of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Miles Edgeworth. This case is titled The Inherited Turnabout, and we have split this one up because a little birdie told us it was long, and also we all have day jobs. So we decided to split this one up in half so that we had a little bit more time to complete it. So I'm going to go into the case summary here, but I'm only going to summarize the first half. The third case of Investigations 2 opens with Ray Shields taking Edgeworth to the former mansion of Jeffrey Master, a famous pastry chef who also hosted a musical cooking program for children with his assistant, Catherine Hall. Ray proceeds to tell Edgeworth about his father's final case, the IS-7 incident, in which Master Jeff was convicted of murder and the true murderer got away. In this flashback, we play as Gregory Edgeworth, along with his young assistant Ray, and meet the various chefs involved, as well as one prosecutor, Manfred von Karma. After many temperature checks, passé eating jokes, and many melted food sculptures, we return to the present as Edgeworth and Ray begin to walk around the mansion, now a replica museum with the exact food sculptures from back then. How convenient. This then predictably goes haywire as a pastry chef stumbles out of a poison-filled room. Larry appears to get accused of murder, and after several confusing winter-autumn-themed room discussions, we find fresh body in the fountain? So yes, this is
delicioso.
Holy shit. That I didn't know that was the bit you're gonna immediately start with. Oh my god.
So yeah, this case is a combo case in that it's both a flashback and a present day case. And we get a new playable character. We get to play as Gregory Edgeworth for the first section of this. We're walking around with his goofy hat, his big old fedora and trench coat, and Ray is an excitable, teenager following him around.
Everyone gets your plucky teenage sidekick. No one is free.
He's the first male teenage sidekick.
He is the first male plucky teenage sidekick.
He's the first male.
It's equality. Good for him.
He is, however, also incredibly eccentric. Way more eccentric than as an adult, as a child. He eats his notes.
He keeps grabbing. The first time he did that, I lost it because I have seen somebody just grab a note out of my hand and eat it.
I appreciate you trying to hide my identity, but you can just say it was me.
Witness protection.
Witness protection. No, me and Rose used to work at the safe store. She'd be like, oh yeah, use this. I was like, oh yeah, cool. And I would swallow it.
Just grab the paper out of my hand and eat it. And I was like, wow, that was the to-do list, but okay. Usually it was a receipt.
Yeah, no, I'd buy something and then Rose would be like, all right, here's a receipt. And I go, thanks. And I'd eat it immediately.
Yep.
Eating paper does not make you that weird.
Don't eat receipt paper, by the way. That ink is not great for you.
I'm better now. I'm stronger because of it. Right.
Right, so we're like 5 minutes into this, and already we've talked about Tiago eating receipts.
Receipts don't usually use ink, though. It's heated paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're good. There's something in it that's supposed to be not good for you. I don't know.
Here's what I'll say about Ray Shields is that it's very interesting to see him have this teenage quirk, and then he clearly grew out of it when he was an adult. So it's funny because that's how real life is, right? I bet we all had quirks that when we were teenagers we did because we thought that was.
No, I unfortunately carried all mine to right now.
I was insufferable as the teenager. I'm glad it's over.
So, here's a question: is this Chekhov's paper eating habit that we're putting up on the shelf, or are we not, or is that not going up on the mantelpiece today? You think?
There's a non-zero chance.
I'm
I'm
leaning.
saying if in the present, all of a sudden he's just gonna be like, "Yep, still got it."
I'm leaning towards it just being like a goofy, wacky bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes in handy, like, in the flashback case, because...
Your body doesn't
Right.
actually digest receipt paper. You could just pull it out later.
No, or just, like, he eats some piece of evidence, or, like, pretends to eat some piece of evidence or something and fools somebody, like...
So we know
The
for
thing is,
go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say we know though that this case ends in failure.
Exactly.
Gregory's case, we know
Yeah,
it ends in failure.
I'm like, where's the gun? Where's the fucking gun?
There's no gun.
There's bullet, because the original case, that they try, there's something wrong with a gun somewhere that causes,
Yeah,
like,
that-
Gregory
they-
to investigate.
And he goes down to the evidence room to
Yeah.
get it, right?
And finds that, Manfred has tampered with evidence.
Wait,
But,
that's
like-
this case?
Yeah, that's this case!
I was under the assumption that this was a different case because
No, it's inherited turnabout. He inherited his father's.
Yeah, they keep going like, this is Gregory Edgeworth's final case. Like,
Here's
this
what I
man is
thought.
about to get murdered.
I straight up thought that this was just like a different case. I did not know it was the one and related to case 1-4.
I'm delighted
The-
to see Von Karma because I have an
He's a-
unfortunate habit of loving shitty old men. But I'm just like out here, I'm like, how many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Get back in the ring!
All right, did you like Von Karma's introduction? Because that motherfucker just walks out of the castle.
It made me laugh.
The doors just open up, and he just is there.
I
and
walked
everybody's
into
like,
the room, but I was like, why isn't he
hi.
here? Where is he hiding? And I guess I wasn't expecting the obvious place.
So like
The
go
other
ahead.
bit, though, is also that Gumshoe gets to go in that castle later to, like, rummage around and look at all the pieces of evidence in there. And he has to get down and crawl to get in there, kind of, is the way that they phrase it. Like, it makes it seem like he's, like, really getting in there. So I just really love the image of, like, Von Karma crouching to
wait,
get around
does
inside this
Gumshoe-
castle.
does
Oh, I was
Gumshoe
gonna
go in the
say it was a
castle? No, it's-
perspective issue. And Von
it's-
Karma's
it's
just really
all-
short.
Yeah.
Or is it a fun character cameo, Detective Tyrell Bad?
Yeah, it's Tyrell Bad.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It is Tyrell.
It was
Wait,
nice
wait,
to
who
see
has to
him.
go in there.
We're jumping all over the place here. All right, so we start off.
We're
this
still
case
in the
of-
flashback zone, dear listeners.
right. All right, staying in the flashback zone. Gregory Edgeworth is investigating with his kid sidekick Ray Shields. Jeff Masters accused of murder. I called shot right here. It's clearly Catherine Hall. I don't want it to be because she's a baddie,
Catherine.
but
It's
we all know it's
Catherine.
Catherine.
Oh,
Dude.
I had a disposable camera and I took a photo of the dead body I found before I called the police. I just had a disposable camera in my pocket just for taking pictures of dead bodies and I thought to do that right away. Like, girl,
Yeah, it's Catherine Hall. We can all
She's
say
a-
it's Catherine Hall.
she's a killer. It's
She's a
you.
killer.
I
She's hot, but she's a
immediately-
killer. In the flashback zone, we have to investigate, like, there's 4 pastry chefs, and they're all having competition to see who's the best. And, like, Jeff Masters is also participating in this competition, even though he's hosting it, which is fucking like, I don't know, it's like, it's so fucking egotistical. They'd be like, I'm the world's greatest pastry chef, I'm gonna host a tournament, but also I'm gonna participate. Imagine if Mr. Beast participated in his own Squid Game. That's fucked up.
I literally
Maybe
had to talk to Ben last night about who the fuck Mr. Beast is because I had no fucking idea. I never felt more millennial than I did right then.
Oh.
I'm sorry to bestow upon you the beast knowledge.
The knowledge of the beast.
Turns out there's a lot of shit that I would see on my Twitter feed that I didn't understand because it was Mr. Beast related, and I was like, I don't understand.
Okay,
So
maybe we don't have to.
I like how, like, I could say weird shit like, the circus man should have killed Regina Berry, but the second I mention Mr. Beast, that's where we draw the line. That's where we draw the line in acceptable discussion.
Well, because maybe that would have been a morally correct ending. Now, I don't know what about Mr. Beast isn't morally correct, and I don't I don't know if I even want to legislate that. I think that's above my pay grade.
We have gotten a little bit of pushback about our Regina Berry hate here. Like folks have gotten a little bit like, well, she's a child.
She's a child.
I know. Listen, I'm not actually saying out here, let's go kill a child.
I know. It's very funny. Don't worry.
Wait, have there actually been comments about me saying? Holy shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you.
Oh, that's funny, actually. They can message me. My Tiago is Dutra at twitter.com.
Please direct
everybody, don't worry. We've only been getting comments in good faith and good fun. Don't worry. But yes, people have been like, guys, you know she's a child, right?
She's a menace. Anyway, back to this case. Jeff Masters has a completely chocolate room. It's themed after like a shipwreck. You go in and it looks like a mouse has nibbled on every single piece of fucking furniture. We find the corpse in a chest, yada yada. Detective Bad is here, and it's cool to see him because he's a cool dude and I love him.
Did you notice his coat?
He's so
no holes.
Cool.
No holes.
No bullet holes in his coat yet.
No holes shown.
That's where the gun's gonna be. Like, the gun that puts all the holes in it, is it? That's the one that Gregory Evers is gonna get killed with later.
Okay.
Called shot.
Maybe. Okay.
Bang, bang.
There's at least several bangs.
Bang, 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 bang. So, moving on to the second room is where we get introduced to a real baddie, Delicia Scones. I feel bad. It's never... All right, never mind. She
You dig any further? You'd like to dig this hole?
Oh, all right. Focusing. She is also a pastry chef, but the real secret is that she isn't, because she just buys props and cover them with cream. Because the rule of the fucking competition is that you're not supposed to use fucking non-edible stuff, but she just bought like plastic shit and covered it with whipped cream.
She's just like failed her way to the top. All she wanted to do was like eat everybody else's desserts, and somehow she's made it to the finals.
And if she can make it to the finals, you can apply for that job you're not qualified for.
Yes, everybody get out there.
We stand a queen who loves to eat. Okay, like she's here. She's eating shit. She was the mouse eating all the chocolate shit.
Obviously, we got to say, it's frustrating to see like a bunch of jokes like this, right?
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Oh, she's so funny because she just loves to eat. Like, it's like, okay, come on.
Yeah,
like,
listen,
a little bit of an eye roll.
We all love to eat.
Yeah, so it's just like, all right, whatever. But it is a very funny bit in which, and she's also got some really good animations.
I think her design's pretty cute, honestly.
Yeah,
she like turns her face away from the camera, and when you're
and when she
interrogating
hides her face in her mixing bowl. I found her design to be very charming, honestly.
It's very good.
Yes.
So like we keep investigating. We find out that she just likes to eat. She somehow managed to fucking do all of this shit. She made like a fucking cardboard castle and covered it with whipped cream. And that's where like there was more like fucking. We find the murder weapon of the guy who died, who was one of the chefs. It was like a rock salt lamp or some shit. No gun. You are right. Where the fuck is the gun?
Yeah, where's the gun? The whole time I'm like, we're not.
It's in the castle, covered in whipped cream.
Maybe it is. Maybe the gun was in all that. There's so much temperature nonsense in this.
Yeah.
I once again I ended up like actually like meta acting super hard because I did this entire case while like eating fancy artisan chocolate. And
Ooh.
Also there's dating ourselves a little, but a temperature crisis has recently occurred in the area in which we live.
I guess it was a crisis. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a crisis, but then I remembered that like, oh yeah, if you were outside for more than 10 minutes, you could die. And I was like, oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, the real feel was -45.
Yeah.
Like the other night while I was playing this case, and I was like, wow.
Just simply not live by the ocean. Like
I would
love
rather
the ocean.
die.
Yeah. I want to see the water all the time.
So yeah,
like,
a lot of meta acting on Rose's
Our state's
part.
unfortunately landlocked due to the complete inconsideration of New Jersey.
Wait, isn't there like a river in Philadelphia?
We're not in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, we gotta bleep that out because I'm getting really close to accidentally doxing you two.
I don't know about that.
The point being, yeah, she
It's
just
close
fell
enough
away.
to the ocean. Are you saying a river is the ocean?
It connects to fucking something, doesn't it? Does a river not connect to an ocean?
We gotta keep
Yeah, but
moving
we don't
on.
get
doesn't
a
make you
fucking
not
Arctic blast
landlocked.
from the ocean because we don't live by the ocean.
Also,
Oh,
there's the lakes, Tiago. The lakes.
What lakes?
The
The
Great
big
Lakes.
ones.
I thought that was near Detroit.
All of them are just.
We can't Dan Reichert this, please.
I don't know who Dan Riker is.
We're great
I
at
know,
geography.
I'm not good at geography. Anyway, focusing back on the case,
yes.
Delicia Scone was accused for like a tiny bit because Greggy was like, definitely not my client. But then Delicia Scone's like, yeah, I'm just a pharmacist.
She was pretty suspicious, but
Her reason for suspicion is the fact that she's straight up cheating at this fucking competition. Like, she's an imposter. Yeah. She's an Among Us imposter in this fucking
honestly,
case.
I'm loving... Can we talk about Mr. Gregory Edgeworth? Because I am super into him. Like, he's got this, like, cool detective coat and hat and vibe, and he looks, like, really serious.
Noir.
But he's, like, very cute. Like, everyone's singing the songs, and I was like, okay, I can see why this case might take a long time, because these song and dance numbers, not skippable.
Yeah.
And
Music
he's like...
unskippable in my Ace Attorney?
Yeah, oh boy. And he's all like, oh, I got really into that song. Oh, I should tell my son about this show. He'd love it. Oh, you know.
I wish my son was normal.
I wish my son was normal.
He keeps reading law books. What the fuck is wrong with him?
And he's also one of the few characters to turn around and look at the prosecutor and the detective team and go, do you have any proof of this? Where's your evidence that he did this? What caused you to suspect this? You know, and that is all I've been wanting from an Ace Attorney character, is for somebody to just look at the prosecution and go, all right, well, the burden of proof is on you. What evidence
Gregory
have you
Edgeworth,
found? Please provide it to me.
He's good at his job, apparently.
Yeah.
I know, somebody actually doing their job.
That's crazy.
Just sort of like, okay, do you have evidence? Can I see it? You know, because we have to share evidence, because that's the law. The prosecution and the defense have to decide what evidence is admissible in court before you go into court.
Yeah, well, this is Japan-California circa 18 years ago, so anything
Well, this is before the 3-day trial.
That's true.
Poppycock.
They do reveal that this is also before they put the 3-day time limit on trials. So this case, I believe they said it spans over the period of a year because of how much
way more
it drags
realistic.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm willing to wait. So here's my thing: is it possible that the gun entirely was just like part of the falsified evidence that Von Karma introduced?
Maybe.
Like what? Like there's a chance that like there's actually no gun involved in this case, but
there's a salt lamp.
There's a
somebody else might get murdered.
True. So we do the flashback thing, right? Like that's a flashback, and we like, oh, we also real quick get introduced to a cook from Zhengfa. Just gotta have a real quick Zhengfa tie in every case, right?
Yep.
I'm waiting for them to like try and hoodwink me with like the connection between all of them.
Yeah. This Zhengfa cook cooks for the president. So we do the flashback thing, and then like by the time you finish interrogating Delicia Scone in the past, that's when Ray Shields is like, all right, let's go check out the exhibit, because apparently in the past they want to go look at the victim's sculpture room, who apparently made all of his sculptures out of like shaved ice, but it melted. And now we're gonna go visit the winter room because it has all the copies of his sculptures, and it's like, wait, how did you guys know what the sculptures looked like? It fucking melted.
Somebody took a picture of it probably before.
I bet Katie took a picture before she melted it.
Before she was the murderer.
Or he had some blueprint that he used, originally to make these, and they're just replicating it off his instructions.
A ton of sense.
That actually makes the most sense.
But it is a little wild that essentially what happens is Ray says, "Hey, Edgeworth, come with me to this weird pastry museum." And Edgeworth's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Just trust me on it." And then they get there, and then he spends 3 hours telling him about half of a case that his dad worked on. And then he goes, so anyway, you know those sculptures that your dad never got to see? Let's go look at them. Because they made copies of them here.
They made copies.
Also, everybody who is involved in that case is here. This is suspicious.
Something is going on. Ray, what are you up to?
Ray's gonna kill one of them, probably. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think Ray's a killer.
Let me put it this way. It's been a while since we accused a fellow member of the court.
Yeah, you're right. We are a little
Sebastian DeBest, get over here.
Yeah.
I love him. I've decided the court is in, the jury has decided Rose loves him.
Well, here's the thing I want to know. Has he gotten stupider?
He got just straight up stupider.
Yeah, the stupider he gets, the more I like him.
It feels like, like his statements and his everything that he's been bringing up as evidence has gotten even worse than in case 2.
Yeah,
like,
in
it
case
feels
2,
significantly
he had,
worse.
A little bit of prep time for Justine to sort of tell him what to do. This time we're seeing him like just at face value. He's just jumping to his own conclusions without her coaching him first. And I think that this is what we're seeing. I think we're seeing the real Sebastian DeBest here.
I don't know why, but my first thought was we're seeing him in utero, and I just imagined the Nirvana cover album, but Sebastian DeBest is the baby. I don't know
that's
why.
A weird image.
Listen, you're telling me, man. I'm the one who it was an intrusive thought I had.
It could happen to anyone.
We go into there's a whole mix-up between the winter and autumn room, because the autumn room and the winter room look very alike, and they have statues that look very similar.
They also are swapped. Because remember that, what's his name's, the guy who got murdered in the flashback, his room was the last room?
Yes.
Which is why everyone kept trying to go, who was involved in the first case, kept trying to go into it. And I was waiting to prove that, and I haven't gotten to yet. I think that's going to come in the last fourth of the case.
So we get to go into the autumn room, and we see a very beautiful couple.
Oh, we do see them.
Dess and her baby girl husband.
Yeah,
well, I'm now going to guess it. Oh shit! I didn't know his name. I was gonna guess Dolce or something. I didn't know his name. It's Ronnie and Dessy. They're both looking at the statue, being like, "We could steal this, and then we could shop mask the mask." Who's the person on the right?
Steal the ice sculpture.
And Edward's just I don't know what they're talking about, and leaves.
So there's a person on the right who is also looking at the statue. We never see their face. Who is that supposed to be?
I think they're setting up a character for later.
Okay.
I think it's simple as that. I don't know if it's this case or later in the game, but I am pretty sure that they're setting up a character for later.
Yeah, that seemed significant.
Yeah, 100%. I thought it was supposed to be another cameo, but there was a person who was also looking at the statue, and we never get to see their face. So I was just like, huh. Okay.
Yeah, that's not a pre-existing character. That's somebody new. So, well, I'm sure we'll see them again eventually here.
Yeah. And then we leave this room, and of course we head immediately to the next room.
Ray takes a very funny selfie with Miles.
True.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the face that good. Miles is making is so when your friend's like, "Oh, hey, look at this," and you turn around and they take a selfie. That's it. That's the face you make.
It's very good.
Really bang up job on the artist who did this one. This is a good image.
Delightful little frame, yeah, for sure.
People keep taking photos of Miles, and he doesn't like it. Keep doing it, and I feel bad because I'm not a big photo person either, usually. Or at least not an unexpected photo person. And oh boy.
Oh, I like taking unexpected photos.
No, I like to expect photos.
The only way you'll get a photo of me if it's unexpected.
I like that photo a lot because there's cases in previous games where we also take photos of the main characters. Normally at the end of a game where it's look at us, look at how we did, and then everyone's doing a big high five and a hug, and I'm like, ooh, I like these kind of art shots, so it felt pretty good to see one. Yeah, we go outside and Larry's in front of a corpse, I guess. Larry's here.
Yep. Larry's back.
Laurice Dunim
Reese, not Larry.
Larry literally rolls up, and the first thing he says is, "I've seen something that no one should ever have to see again."
Again.
This is like the 10th time, Larry.
Yeah.
The old Zengfa chef steps out of the door. He's collapsed because there's poison gas in the room that was locked previous. We interrogate Larry. We find out that there's poison gas made from 2 very special ingredients: normalium and fatalium.
Oh, let's just get some unobtainium in here too while we're at it. Jesus.
Yep.
2 obvious chemicals that we all know exists on the periodic table right now. If we go look at it, it's right there.
It is.
Yeah, he saw, we have to interrogate Larry, of course, and he's the one that we have to play mind chess with, and it's actually, like, super easy.
Yeah. Because you have 3 phases, right? Because he's got 3 chess pieces. So the first phase, you say nothing. You just stand there in complete silence and just stare him down.
He has the most
everything.
He has the most health that we've encountered in somebody with a logic chess before. And like Edgeworth basically says like, all right, Larry can be difficult with this, but if I wait him out, it'll be fine. You know, like sometimes he's impervious to logic. I'll just let him talk.
I'll just let him tire himself out, and then I can get the truth.
That is literally what Edgeworth says to do, and you do it, and it works. It's super easy.
And then the second phase, you just question him every single time. And then the final third phase is when you have to actually mix it up and do both.
Yeah.
And get a clue, and then circle back around to the other dialogue tree and utilize the clue. But yes, it's very easy to break Larry. It's just that it's long, and you got to stand there and just glare at him for a while, yell at him for a while, and then do a mix of both.
Yep.
Which, really recontextualizes every, like, conversation that Edgeworth has with everybody now. Like, he's been playing logic chess. This is what is going on in his head when he's talking to Phoenix. This is what's going on when he's talking to Larry. When he's talking to Francisca. Like, this is just how he talks to people.
Yeah.
There's just chess playing inside of his mind. Oh, that seems almost horrible, but exactly within the confines of Miles Edgeworth's mind. You know what I mean?
I think this statement by Francisca is probably going to be worth 6 chess pieces. All right, time to get to work.
This is
constantly
what
thinking
to your brain when you get like traumatized at a young age and then raised the rest of the time by Manfred von Karma.
Yeah,
Manfred, what it's like.
Honestly, yeah. Imagine Manfred sitting him down and be like, "All right, so whenever somebody talks to you, they imagine 3 chess pieces, and they're
you're playing every
Von
conversation you have is you playing chess."
Von Karma absolutely would not be. I think he would not have said that. Instead, he would have been like, "You just need to figure it out, kid." Like he would be very just
yeah.
You must be perfect. But chess is absolutely young Edgeworth's hyperfixation. 100%. He just became super obsessed with it, and it was the one hyperfixation that Von Karma was approving of. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chess seems right.
Do you think that's the reason that he's really into the Steel Samurais? Because in his youth he wasn't able to because he was raised by Von Karma. That's real. That actually really fucking.
There's gotta be fic. That's
Slow
exactly
down, you guys
that,
are gonna
right?
send me to therapy.
Yeah, he's definitely like trying to like cope with the childhood he lost by like getting super into Toku.
Super into Toku. Oh my god!
And I love him. He's perfect.
Yeah. We interrogate Maurice Dunem. We go into the room. People have covered up the statues so that when the covered up part go ahead.
Before you go into the room, we get the most important sprite in this game so far.
Gumshoe.
Which is Gumshoe in the gas mask.
Yeah, you're right. 100%.
Yeah,
delightful.
Gumshoe and Kay run up and they're like, "Mr. Edgeworth, we heard you were killed by poison." And he's like, "Well, no. But all right. Now go in the poison room."
Please wear a gas
Gumshoe,
mask.
go in there. Go in there in the poison.
He uses one of his Severin secret tools of whatever.
You're right. That must be what it is.
That's one of the Severin secret tools is a gas mask. And he goes in and he looks at it and he's like, "Wow, there's 2 people there and a statue with horns." And then Edgeworth like, "Oh, just like a mirror of the previous room." And then you go in and yeah, someone covered up the like statues with tarps to make it look like it's the room next to it. This was clearly a trap to try to kill Zheng Fa-Chef. Because... But also, why the fuck does Zheng Fa-Chef go to the top of the statue, use a blowtorch, and melt the top of the statue that, like, mixed the normalium with the fatalium?
I mean, there's got to be more going on.
Yeah, 100%.
With, but also, by the way, his name is Dane.
Dane
Gustavia. So he's not actually from Zheng Fa. He's just going to study at Zheng Fa.
He's Italian coded.
Oh, I really thought he was from Zheng Fa. I misread.
Yeah, no, he was gonna go. He was planning to go study there, so he must have in between the past and the future at some point.
Yeah, because he's a lot better now.
Yeah,
but yes, there's got to be something else going on with why he's. Yeah, but yeah, he's got to have some. There's got to be still some other reason. He's probably not the murderer or anything like that, but
he has a secret that's
he's got to have some relationship with somebody here, right?
He has a dark secret that's worth going to a room, putting a blowtorch to a statue, and trying to retrieve something.
Yeah, exactly.
Or destroy it. Maybe destroy the statue, because somehow the statue has evidence.
I think the statue is the evidence.
Yeah.
I'm also waiting for there to be at some point like a bit with a statue that has another statue within it, and they melt at different temperature points so that the statue A can quote unquote transform into statue B.
Right?
Like Larry saw.
I literally just tried to go into my phone to look at the photo we take of the Winter Palace replica, like it was my organizer. Like, I was straight up like, oh yeah, let me check my evidence, and I like opened up my phone. It's just like 75 photos of my dog, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yes.
Good evidence.
Good evidence, but not what I was looking for to help describe for the podcast out of my organizer.
Think about it this way: your dog is the killer.
Yeah. I'm looking behind me. Where is she?
Of course, as soon as we enter this room, we get a very special visit from our two favorite people, Justine Courtney and Sebastian DeBest. They immediately accuse Laurice Dunim because normalium is a very normal chemical that can be found in everyday household items, including but not limited to paint. And Laurice carried paint. And that's why he was accused. And I was just like...
He's just sort of there.
The thing is, though, is that, like, the entire time I was like, okay, how did he get the fatalium, you morons? The thing that's that you can't get without, like, a doctor's license.
You know, funnily enough, they didn't think of that.
They didn't fucking think of that, did they? They didn't give me the option to say, hey, Nimrods, why the fuck where did he get the goddamn fatalium? Like,
interestingly, Edgeworth actually comments a bit on, he's like, going after Larry, that's definitely DeBest's idea.
Yeah.
Whereas, because then he goes, I bet Courtney was actually going after Delicia Scones the whole time. Like, she suspected her from the very start, and she just had to tolerate DeBest chasing up this Laurice Dunim tree.
Yeah, deadass. You're probably right.
So I still think that there's something going on with DeBest is like, again, the kid of like a higher up in the law system, and Justine Courtney is just being forced to babysit him and escort him around, and she can't say no to somebody who's higher up or some. There's got to be something, because she seems to not. She knows he's an idiot, right?
Yeah, very 100%. Stupid. I still don't know what the fuck she thinks she's doing. Like, sorry, just become a prosecutor. Jesus. What are you even doing here?
I bet her, like, mom...
She wanted more power than that.
True. I was just gonna say, sorry, my phone went off for a little bit while I was talking. I hope that didn't catch on mic. I was looking something up, and then it became, like, a fucking video, and I was like, I don't want this to be a video. Because I wanted to look up, like, fucking... How hard would it be to get doctor's chemicals without being a doctor? But then I realized having that in my Google search history may actually be, like, incriminating.
Yeah, how do I get a fatalium?
Well,
In
I'm
real
just
life.
saying, how would I get, like, fucking, some real drugs? Anyway, moving on. The thing about Justine Courtney to me is that it reads that there's two possible scenarios. One, Justine literally just wants a puppet, and the easiest puppet is the best because he's a goddamn moron.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Two,
for him. But
she is forced into this scenario, but like the only reason she would be forced into this scenario would be because of the PIC, the Prosecutorial Investigation Committee,
Right.
or this guy has nepotism no jutsu and is like the son of the Supreme Court law or whatever.
Right.
Like there has to be either she is the one craving power or she is the one under someone else's power. And, like, I don't know which one it is, and we'll find out later in the game. That being
There is a complete void of any political power in the Ace Attorney world between the president and the chief prosecutor. There's no such thing as, like, Congress people or senators or
the higher
any...
courts, perhaps.
Yeah,
like
or
the Court of
Supreme
Appeals.
Court. None of that shit seems to exist. It's just you go all the way up to High Prosecutor, and then there's a big jump all the way up to President of the United States of America or
my
Zhang Fa
goodness.
or whatever.
That's
It's so much. No wonder the prosecutors are just like appalling and do whatever they fucking want. Because they literally, if the president gets killed, like, you're next in line, buddy. Like, the fuck?
and after you get killed, it's chief of police.
Yeah, like, if like 3 people get killed, Miles is president of the United States. Or at least governor of California.
You're
Definitely
right.
governor of Japanofornia. It's just, like, strange, because, like, Justine, we don't know Justine's motives right now, because they're playing her to be like, ooh, she's so mysterious, the way that she has this man wrapped around her little finger.
I don't think that's very mysterious.
Yeah, but why? Why this man? Why him? You know?
I don't know. I love him. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, but like, would you trust him to do court?
No!
Exactly. I can't imagine a scenario that Sebastian ever wins the court case outside of Justine's court. Like, if old man doddering judge would also be here and look at Sebastian the Best and be like, I know I'm not that, like, on the ball, but Jesus Christ, dude. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
The thing about old man Judge, Grandpa Judge, is that, like, there are moments where he recognizes that, like, Phoenix, real talk, you're actually out of fucking line here. Like, I'll deal with most of your bullshit, but this is the moment where I draw the fucking line. Either you show some goddamn shit, or you're fucking out of here. And, like, those are the moments where, like, you recognize that he has power, but, like, Sebastian the Best would hit that, like, sentence one.
Why isn't his prosecutor's badge being threatened for being an absolute dunce?
Because he's either has power or Justine wants a little lackey, like a little minion. And Sebastian the
just
Best...
a little guy.
Just a little guy.
She wants a little... She saw that everyone had a teenage sidekick, and she was like, I'm entitled to one.
I want in on this. Let me just grab a random child off the street. You will be my teenage sidekick.
And she grabbed the first one who passed the fucking bar. Like, Sebastian the Best is like 17.
Yeah, the bar, I'm losing confidence in the, like, bar exam in this universe. Like, Phoenix did, like, a home correspondence course and, like, passed, but, like, he is clearly, like, set up as, like, a wacky, like, maybe not a prodigy like Francisca and Miles are, but, like, he's definitely got some special ability. But, like, some of these people, I'm like, buddy,
like,
what are you doing here?
The thing about it is that, like, fucking Phoenix Wright can think on his feet and, like, think outside the box very well. He does not think about the confines of, like, reality. He's willing to do, like, the illogical jump. And, like, the thing about fucking Miles Edgeworth and Francisca is that, like, they're willing to explore logic to its, like, fullest potential. And Sebastian the Best is just a goddamn moron. He's just dumb in every way. Like, how the fuck did he pass?
He ain't even a pain.
He ain't even...
Yeah, Winston Payne could clean this guy's clock in court. That's so sad.
I like the guy's dumber than Larry. Like,
you're not even fit to wear Winston Payne's
Yeah, Larry
toupee.
literally goes, "Hey, like, Miles, is this kid stupid?" And Miles is like, "Yeah, he is actually." And Larry's like, "Oh, damn,
that's
like,
tough.
Literally, Larry.
If Larry's the second dumbest person in the room's fucked. It's a fucked room.
Oh, poor Larry.
I love the dude, but like, honestly, he makes up for like happy-go-lucky charm, and he's like, I like him because he doesn't try to fucking one-up me constantly, whereas Sebastian the best.
He does, but he's awful at it.
Yeah, it's funny when he tries, but like Sebastian the best, I think he needs to be put down. I don't know. Maybe this is another.
Whoa! We're getting into Regina Berry territory.
What is up with you guys and trying to get teenagers killed?
I'm
pushing back on that one.
I'm kidding. I just wanted to fucking follow through. By the end of this, I'm going to turn into like a Jason Voorhees slasher going to Crystal
no.
So yes, you prove that it couldn't be Larry. So they immediately turn their sights on Delicia, who this is when we get the reveal that she's a pharmacist, right?
Yeah. No, they really revealed she was a pharmacist in way back when.
Yeah, they did.
Right. That's true. But but they start to, I guess. Oh, the reveal here is for her megatoxin X.
Yeah.
That she works for the company that makes this medicine, and it has fatalium in it. So she had easy access to the other critical part of this chemical compound, and as you like try to like do this bit. There's not a lot of actual gameplay here. It is mostly just them talking. You only have to present like one or two things.
Yeah.
There's no logic chess here. There's no, testimony or anything like that. And so instead, you just kind of have your one or two pieces of evidence, and everybody wraps up. They're like, well, anyway, we should go investigate the Winter Palace next. You know, we all really like this idea of going to the other room. Let's go over there. And they walk out. And everybody stands next to the fountain and talks for like 5 minutes. And then somebody turns around and looks behind them. And there's a fucking body floating face down in the fountain.
All right. We didn't get to reveal the identity of who this body is, but I think this body is legit the corpse from 18 years ago. And here's why I think it is. I think they fucking froze it 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And they fucking unfroze it here. And I think this is possible. I also think that we all know it's fucking Catherine Hall. It's so fucking clear that it's Catherine Hall.
It's her. We even get to the point where Miles is like, I think she's the only one with the like means to do this.
The fact that Miles, there is like a hint of doubt. Like I'm only 90% sure. There's a 10% chance it's not her, but like. I feel like she's in some way complicit. She absolutely has to be, because when the Fatalium and the Normalium mixed in, she had to be not at the booth where handing out tickets. She had to be in the security room to activate the sprinkler system to get rid of the gas.
Right.
So there's a discrepancy of where she said she was and where she actually was. So clearly something else fucking happened.
She also is. Delicia says, "Oh, I'm friends with her." And Delicia always carries some of the fatalium poison, the rat poison. It's rat poison. She's afraid of rats.
Yeah.
She's afraid
totally
of rats.
Fair. And so she's like, oh, she knows she always carries rat poison in her purse. Oh, I visit her all the time. Oh, it was stolen last week and I reported it. Like, okay, like, let's check it out. I just want to know why.
The one thing is that Ace Attorney has often been fond of not introducing the real killer until the second half of the case anyway.
True.
So it's totally possible that we meet another NPC next half. I don't know one way or the other, but I think it's not a zero. It's a non-zero chance here. You know what I mean?
I think the final, I think the option C, door C, I think it's a conspiracy between all of the chefs. Because clearly Zheng Fa chef had something to hide, Dane Gustavia. So he has some dark secret.
I'd like
it's
it if it was
definitely
all of them, if all of them participated somehow.
right.
Yeah.
And then
If
maybe
we had
like
a
the one
Murder
guy
on
like
the Orient Express type
didn't want to
thing.
go through with it or something, and so they killed him, and we're like, we
Yeah,
can still do this plan.
actually, I like this.
They just explicitly didn't invite Dessy Scone because they were like, I don't know, man. She's just here. She's like a fucking pharmacist. What's she gonna do? Poison him? Haha. And then here we
Right.
are.
I mean, I also do think that Dane Gustavia, since he did not die
Yeah.
from the poison, obviously, that leaves him open still in that maybe it was a setup to make it seem like it couldn't have been him because, I was the one who had the attempted poisoning, right?
And he knows
So
that there's a fully stocked infirmary in this, like, a wacky ass, like, rich person's pet project art museum,
right?
And a pharmacist on staff to administer, like, or not on staff, but like in the building to administer a cure.
Mm-hmm.
Instantly.
Also,
he doesn't even need to go to the hospital.
Yeah. Also, he's got a full Sprite set.
He's got a
so
full
he's
Sprite
not important, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And he's only shown up a small amount, so he's got to show up at least some more. He's got to wake up at some point before the end of the case, and we get to talk to him at least one more time. So it's tough to say who it could be yet.
My money is on Catherine Hall. My second bet would be a conspiracy. But here's something I actually want to think about that the case does not bring up that I, Tiago, am now thinking about. Yes, Normalium and Fatalium was mixed, but there's a total chance that the Fatalium just happened to be present in the room because it's used as rat poison.
Mm-hmm.
There's a total possibility that it wasn't intended to be mixed, that this poison gas wasn't supposed to happen. Like there's a possibility that like the Fatalium just happened to be there as rat poison, and the Normalium on the ceiling, that probably was the actual trigger, as opposed to the Fatalium being the trigger. Does that make sense?
Sure.
I
think so.
Like the Fatalium was actually just there as rat poison.
Oh, and the Normalium's used as an adhesive, right?
Exactly. So like there's
still seems very dangerous.
It is super dangerous.
Chemistry.
Just mixing two things, though.
That's chemistry, baby.
There's a total possibility that, like, this man accidentally fucking poisoned himself. Like, who hasn't accidentally mixed bleach and vinegar?
Well,
y'all went
I haven't.
Yeah, but we all know of cases that, like, where that happens in real life because people don't know not to mix them.
I mean, define real life.
Yeah,
IRL.
And I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure somebody doesn't know and has done it. I'm sure that's happened.
There's a total possibility.
They're common things, yes.
Exactly. That this like guy was just melting some shit and then like accidentally created mustard gas in the fucking room. I don't think that's the case, but I'm not saying it's a non-zero possibility.
Right.
I just went off a tangent on a weird poison gas theory.
But yes, so I think we can probably start to wrap up here because we've reached the end of like the main segments there. We've got our predictions out of the way. So we'll still have a whole nother half of the case to get through. And I'm really curious. I'm really curious who it could be yet. And I'm wondering how much longer we will play as Gregory, because the place where we left off sure makes it seem like we will play as him some more again.
100%.
So we'll have at least one more segment with him, and then probably come back to the present. We'll see.
I really like Gregory Edgeworth. I think he's a cool dude. Great sprite dude. Great character to play as because he plays as this like very serious, honest, like attorney. But he's also super curious about what everyone else likes. Like he hears the song.
So cute.
And he's like, wow, maybe I should give that a listen. And like really fucking gets into the work, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think Von Karma's just gonna whip out a gun and be like, this is the gun the killer used, and it's like, but the victim wasn't shot though, and he goes, it doesn't matter. He was shot.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't matter. Who do you think the killer is?
Doesn't matter to him.
Who do I think the killer is?
Yeah.
I don't.
No.
No thoughts. Head empty.
I think it was either Catherine Hall or Louis Sternem.
Okay. And I really like Rose's suggestion. I would love it if everybody was in on it.
Yeah,
that would be very fun.
I'm liking the team effort.
I would side with
murder.
Rose only because this case needs to be linked to everything else that's happened so far.
Yeah. Also, I don't think we've had like a large conspiracy to commit murder before.
Yeah.
No, containing more than like one or two people, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've definitely had other people like collaborating in ways that they were not like happy with or coerced into. But I don't think we've ever had one where it's like multiple people who are just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get this fucking guy.
Because that's pretty legally. That's pretty equivalent to actually committing the murder. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's exactly the same, but I know that it's very serious as well. Especially if the person actually, dies. Which in this case, we do have at least one dead person so far.
At least.
At least there could be more.
Yeah. That I do think that you might be right though with that body in the fountain just being the same body as 18 years ago.
Yeah,
It was just frozen this whole time.
I don't know how, but it checks out.
We've played so much shit with temperature shit. I bet fucking Catherine Hall made a fake corpse out of candy or some shit. And that was the corpse that was used in the autopsy.
Somebody runs their finger across the body and then licks it and goes, fondant.
Oh, my fruit gushers.
They wouldn't be like, fondant. They'd be like, fondant.
I like fondant. I think fondant's a nice thing to put on cake.
It looks nice. It just doesn't taste super great.
I'm calling it now, Tiago. That's going to get you more hate than the Regina Berry incident.
I can forgive him for wanting to
kill children and
eat
fondant.
People hate fondant.
Why do people hate fondant? You just put it's just like fucking like sugar.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. I also despise eating it, but I understand that
edible,
it has.
But it doesn't taste good. But it looks good, and that's what it's for.
Yeah, it looks
and
good.
then you cut the cake, and then you peel it off.
Yeah, I understand
never
it has
peel
some
off
uses. But I've eaten a good chunk of fondant in my life, and I didn't.
My mom is
like any of it.
a pastry artist, so
yeah,
I grew up with all that stuff.
Ben, you're the last one to speak. How do you feel about vis-a-vis fondant?
I'm not a huge fan of it now.
Okay, so I'm the only one.
That was such a nice diplomatic answer. Thank you, Ben.
That's okay. When we all go out to a party and get a fondant cake, you can have all our fondant.
I'll peel off the rind off of your cake and eat it.
It's like,
I mean,
it's like
God.
peeling an orange and just eating the skin like an animal.
It's like when you eat like a wheel of Gouda and it has that wax layer around the outside.
I
You're just
love
eating
the
that.
wax. Yeah.
Do you eat your Baby Bell with or without the shell?
Yeah,
I
it's literally.
eat it with shell.
Just put that whole sucker in your mouth and crunch away.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
I like to suck on it like it's a jawbreaker.
All right, that'll do it for us this week, folks. You can follow the show on Twitter at Ace Attorney Pod or on co-host under the username Ace Attorney, or our website, updatedautopsy.report. Stay up to date on all the latest episodes, as well as the YouTube uploads, the Let's Plays of Dessy and I playing through the game. You can follow me on Twitter and co-host under the username Yotseben. Dessy, where can people find you?
Yes, this is Des on Twitter.
And Tiago?
You can find me at Tiago S. Dutra on Twitter, where you can see me showing the pro let my clown guy out of jail or whatever for whatever murder he did. I don't remember. What was that guy's name, the acrobat? His name was Acro. Holy shit, how the fuck... The guy from the circus case? Remember the killer? His name was literally fucking Acro.
Yeah, I was there.
At least twice.
Alright.
Yeah, his name was Acro, yeah.
I forgot that his name was so fucking dumb. Anyway, let my guy Acro out of jail. He's innocent.
And Rose.
You can find me and my art at Traumarts on Twitter. You can also find the rest of me at Rose Nonsense on Tumblr or co-host. And that's it. Can't find me anywhere else. Do not look.
You don't have a Tumblr? I thought you had a Tumblr.
I do have a Tumblr. That was the first one.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope that you will rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Those Apple reviews really do make a difference, so thank you for any of those. Next week, we'll be playing the second part of the third case of the Inherited Turnabout, and we'll see you then. Bye!
Bye!
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Why do we all do them separately this time?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think that if someone writes a review about saying that, like, I'm too harsh on Regina Berry, you should send it to me so I can read it on stream.
Yeah.
It was literally just, we got a single YouTube comment where somebody was like, it's really funny how much the cast hates Regina Berry. Like, that was basically the whole comment.
I think we're projecting. I think we're just projecting our frustration about that case onto her, which is slightly unfair to her, but also, like...
She's not real. She's not real and doesn't have feelings. So
she's not real, yeah.
The
murder was fake. My annoyance was real.
True.